versus the Vikings of North Park from Chicago, Illinois. These teams were decided last night's play when William Penn was defeated by Beloit College by a score of 68-58, and Augustana College of Rock Island, Illinois defeated North Park by a score of 81-70. For the profiles of both these teams here tonight are some stats from last night's. For William Penn, they was led in scoring last night by Kim Moole, who finished the game with 18 points. Gerald Reece added 15, Kurt Listerbarger added 8, Larry Inger with 7, Terry Malone with 4, and Roddy Harper and Woodrow Wilson each with 3. In the game for Beloit, they were led in scoring by Smothers, who ended up with 16 points. Rebounding last night in that ball game, Beloit out-rebounded the Statesmen by a total of 36-32. And in turnovers, William Penn had 17 to Beloit's 14. In the field goal shooting percentages for that ball game last night, Beloit shot a 48% from the field, 29 for 60. And William Penn shot 24 for 59 for 40.6% from the field. Beloit shot 67% from the free throw line, 10 of 15, while William Penn shot 10 of 16 for 62% from the free throw line. And now with a look at North Park's ball club from last night and the year, here's Clark Johnson.
All right, thank you, Ron. North Park Vikings are a team of great tradition. They have won the national title the 3 previous years for Division III NCAA. They are led by Mike Thomas with a 24-point scoring average. Mike had 24 last night. He is a all-district Midwest ball player for NCAA Division III. He is a very fine guard. And now we have the introductions of the starting lineups. Back around.
North Park brings a 16-11 record into the contest, the final one of the season for both clubs. Starting this evening for William Penn.
Here's your starting lineups, ladies and gentlemen. And a forward, a 6'5" sophomore from Granger, number 45, Terry Malone. And a forward for North Park, a 6'5" senior from LaGrange, Illinois, number 31, Grant Grastor. At the other forward for William Penn, a 6'5" freshman from Tampa, Florida, number 55, Woodrow Wilson. At the other forward for North Park, a 6'6" senior from Rockford, Illinois, number 34, Jim Clausen. At center for William Penn tonight, a 6'5" junior from Des Moines, Iowa, number 31, Bates Carr. And at center for North Park, a 6'7" sophomore from Des Plaines, Illinois, Jim Schultz. A one guard from William Penn, one of the co-captains of this ball team, a 6' senior from Lost Nation, Iowa, number 21, Kim Moore. And one of the guard positions for North Park, a 6' junior from Buffalo Grove, Illinois, number 15, Scott Groot. And at the other guard for William Penn, a 6' senior from Tucson, Arizona, number 15, Gerald Reece. And at the other guard for North Park, an All-American candidate, number 24, a 6'1" from Maywood, Illinois, Mike Thomas. William Penn coached by Leon Richardson, assisted by Mike Laird. North Park coached by Dan McCarroll.
As you can see from the starting lineup, that North Park starts a much bigger front line, going 6'7", 6'6", and 6'5". It'll be a very important to William Penn that they get a good play out of their front line, good aggressive play. They have to box out on the boards well. One thing they got hurt a lot on last night was they gave up a lot of offensive rebounds in the first half and allowed Beloit to jump out to a 14-point halftime lead. We can't allow that to happen tonight.
Jumping center to start the ball game will be Carr for William Penn against Schultz for North Park.
We have a little bit of a
control there by William Penn, but we had a buzzer sounded and the referee stopped play. Should give the ball to William Penn out of bounds. That's what they're going to do. Ball goes to William Penn out of bounds, and they'll play it in.
It'll be interesting to see what North Park sets up in. They played both man and zone last night against Augustana.
starting in a man-to-man.
I'm kind of surprised with this, Ron, with the inability of Penn to score against the Beloit zone last night. We've had trouble with the zone defense in the last couple weeks of the season. But North Park has chosen to go with the man-to-man to start with. And let's hope Kim can penetrate and dish it off if they don't pick him up, or get it off or take it all the way to the basket.
Also, another aspect of the game we hope we improve on tonight. Gerald Reece last night, 7 of 25 from the field. Not a good night for Gerald, and I'm sure and talking to him today, he wants to loosen up and have a better ball game tonight. Let these people here at Beloit see the real ball player that he is. His last night was no indication, and here he is right now up, and there's a good start for Gerald. Hits his first bucket.
That is a matchup to watch. We have two All-American candidates against each other with Gerald Reece and Mike Thomas of North Park, and they're picking each other up on the William Penn defensive end also.
Both Reece and Thomas have been selected to the Midwest All-American team. They are not candidates. I shouldn't say candidates anymore. They have been selected to that team. Thomas, Reece, along with Beloit's Mark Smith. Basket there by Schultz, a 6'7" sophomore from Des Plaines. Ties the ball game up 2-2. Reece from about 18, up, no good. Rebound to North Park's Grassdorf. Thomas brings the ball up for North Park. Back to Thomas, jump shot from 22's up and good. Some of that fine shooting form that Thomas has. He had 26 last night in the losing calls against Augustana.
On that type, Ron, on that type of play, the person that is guarding the picker has to come out and help out on Thomas. He is a deadly shooter from there. He got a lot of points against Augustana in that same manner. We're going to have to help Gerald out on that.
William Penn trails 4-2 with 18:36 left to go in the first half.
Penn is in their spread offense right at this moment. North Park has moved into his zone defense.
Roll down to Reece on the baseline. Reece on the baseline once again. Has the ball stolen away there by number 34, Clausen, but he was out of bounds when he tried to steal it back or throw it back out. Officially last night, Thomas came up with 24 points, and Grastoff and Clausen each chipped in with 14. Reece controlling for William Penn, over to Moole. Moole to Malone. And back down Moole again.
Looks like Penn is looking to be a little bit more patient in the early going tonight.
Gerald drives inside. We got a bumping foul there on Groot, number 15. That'll be his first personal foul and the first on the team. 17:46 left to go in the first half. North Park on top, 4-2. Moole inbounds the ball to Reece. Reece now works on the pick, set by Malone. Drives on Thomas. Turns, cut off, back to Moole. Moole into the lane. Kicks it off to Wilson and back to Reece. Reece drive, 12-foot jump shots up, no good. Grastoff off with the rebound for North Park. Gerald 1 for 3 from the field here in the early going. And ball thrown away by Thomas. Clausen had started his move in towards the basket, and Thomas thought he was going to hold up to start the offense, and the pass went behind him. Moole controlling there for Penn. Guarded by Groot. North Park back in a man-to-man now.
Penn is running what they call a spread and hook, where they will run Moole and Reece to the one side, try to post Gerald up on one side or the other, and this is what they're trying to create. Thomas has just picked up his first foul. Gerald is very, very tough once he gets the ball in the post against a guard.
His first, the team second.
Penn will inbound the ball under their own basket. Woodrow Wilson to Kim Moole. Reece penetrates and gets the shot off the glass. Gerald now has 4 points. He's off to a much better start than he was last night. Score 4-4 with 16:47 to go in the first half. Good defensive pressure by Penn. Grew at the top. Over to Grassdorf. Good pressure by Woodrow Wilson. Clausen hits from the baseline. Excuse me, that was Schultz for his second basket. Schultz now has 4.
Reece on the baseline, got it there by Grasdorf. Back out to Moole. Malone, over to Moole. North Park back in the zone again. Reece drives there, kicks ball over to Moole. Wilson cuts through the middle. William Penn being very patient here. Malone down to Reece on the baseline. 18-foot jump shots up, no good. Reece got his own rebound up for a 10-foot jump shot, still no good. And North Park brings the ball up the court. Bad pass there by Grasdorf, stolen away by Penn's Bates Carr.
Very good pressure on the ball by Wilson. It made it very difficult for the passer to get it inside.
Inside to Reece. Thompson on the defense. Contact there, and Thomas hit the floor, but Reece gets the bucket.
I think this is one situation that Coach Leon Richardson is liking, in that Thomas is picking up Reece, and a lot of contact in there. It's a possibility that we could get Thomas into foul trouble. It's the same thing on the North Park offensive end.
Gerald Reece with all 6 of Penn's points, and the game tied 6-6. We got a foul called on 31 Bates Carr of William Penn. That's his first, and that'll be the team's first.
On number 31, Bates Carr, his first, the team's first.
Shot there came out, rebounded by Wilson over to Moole. Moole looked for the break, nothing there, so he brought the ball back. Set up the offense, down inside to Reece. Reece back to Moole. Moole on the baseline. Kicks it out to Malone. Or to Bates. Malone now with the ball. Moole looking for Reece. Got him inside. Reece turns. Nice pass off to Malone. Jump shot from the free throw line. It's no good. Moole with the rebound. Moole back up, and it's good. Good offensive board there by Kim Moole. Jump shot was good for Kim. He hit 4 or 5 like that last night. Very important buckets for Penn to keep him in the ball game early last night against Beloit.
It's amazing how many baskets he picks up in that manner. You might call them garbage baskets, but he always seems to be around the ball at the right time.
Thomas there got 3 inside. They set a blind pick on Gerald at the free throw line, and Thomas got inside for the layup, and that's 4 points now for him. His ball game's tied 8-8 with 14-11. Reece inside, jump shots up. And the basket will be no good.
I can't believe that the foul occurred before the shot, Ron. But I do not believe he's going to allow it.
31 Bates Carr, discussion is about the basket. The basket is good.
Yes, that's right, Clark. The basket was good. We couldn't understand that either. There's no way it shouldn't have counted. The ball was never touched after Gerald shot it, and it fell through, and a foul occurred after the ball had already bounced off the rim once. So the basket was good. Reece now with 8. William Penn on top, 10-8. The foul is on Bates Carr. That'll be his second, and that'll be the team's second.
And it's really good to see Gerald off to a good start after last night's poor ball game for him, to show the rest of the Midwest and the rest of the nation what he can do.
Grasdorf got 3 inside, but the jump shot was short. Grasdorf got his own rebound, puts it up short again. Schultz inside and lays it in. Jim Schultz, 6 points now for Schultz. North Park having 4 opportunities on that trip down the court. And just like last night against Beloit, we said, you can't allow a team to have that many offensive scoring chances. And if they continue to do that, it could be a long night. Reece inside again, up and good. Gerald Reece now with 10 points. And we had an inbounds violation there, inline violation, and North Park turns the ball over to Penn.
It wasn't a whole lot of pressure, but the North Park people weren't expecting the Moole to make any move towards the ball at all, and created a turnover.
William Penn on top, 12-10 with 13:31 left to go in the first half. Reece inbounds the ball into Wilson, over to Moole. Moole drives on Groot, goes up for the shot. Quick hands there by Groot, back from Moole. Moole throws it up, no good, and Schultz with the rebound. Groot on the fast break, over to Clausen. We're going to count the basket goaltending. Going to be called on Wilson.
I think you could have picked either one of them, Wilson or Carr.
They're going to call goaltending on Wilson, and I think they're going to call the foul on Bates Carr. That'll be his third. And it'll be an opportunity for a 3-point play for Clausen.
Ron, this is one thing that Penn's going to avoid happening is we did not get back on defense very well at all that time. We were beaten down the floor almost 4-1. And North Park will take the break when it is there.
Clausen's free throws up and good. 3 points for Clausen. North Park on top, 13-12. North Park pressuring full court. A zone trap press up to Malone. Back to Reece.
Let's get it across now.
Down to Bates Carr, over to Wilson. Penn had trouble there with the press, but did get it across the timeline before the 10 seconds. Reece, jump shot from about 8, and it's good. Gerald Reece now with 12 points.
He's feeling it tonight, isn't he, Ron? It's
Shooting
good to see.
Better. Shooting a lot better than he did last night. There's Thomas, and he answers back for North Park. 6 now for Thomas. And North Park on top by 1, 15-14, with 12:40 left to go in the first half.
This is one thing we discussed before the ball game. We mentioned that in this type of ball game, the consolation game, both teams will come out loose and probably shoot the ball a lot better. And it has proven to be true so far.
Good hustle there by Bates Carr around down the rebound. Moole driving inside, kicks the ball back out to Wilson. Over to Reece. Now they'll set the offense back up.
I think you'll see Reece try to hook up in the middle, down low.
Moole picked up there by Thomas as they switched. Groot now over on Reece. I imagine they'll try to go to Reece here because Groot's not the defensive player that Thomas is. Moole trying to get the ball down to Gerald. Cruz is over on Reece now. Groot and Cruz change men. Cruz much bigger ball player. And down to Reece, beat Cruz inside. Hangs up in the air, and it's good. Gerald Reece now with 14 points. And William Penn back on top by 1, 16-15 with 11:44 left to go in the first half. Groot went up for the shot, didn't shoot it. Thomas now free on the left side, drives the baseline, is going to be forced out of bounds. But they give the ball back to Penn. Thomas there was forced out of bounds by Wilson, but the official didn't see it that way and gives the ball back to William Penn.
We now have Ronnie Harper in the ball game for Bates Carr. Bates picked up a couple early fouls and 3 early fouls, and hopefully Ronnie can do a good job for us in there tonight.
This time North Park in a man-to-man full court pressure. Moore handles that easily. And we got a foul out there on Clausen. Silly foul there by 34 Jim Clausen, reaching in, trying to knock the ball away from Malone.
The Vikings' 3rd team foul.
3 team fouls now on North Park.
William Penn, your center court.
Reece with the ball, controls. Cruz on him. They've taken Thomas off Reece. Jump shot by Reece is up and good. Gerald Reece is feeling it now. He's making the moves that got him an All-American candidate and made him an All-American, and they're falling for him tonight.
Gerald now has 16 points on 8 field goals in 9 minutes of play.
And Schultz scores for North Park. William Penn on top by 1, 18-17 with 10:52 left to go in the first half. Reece, Cruz on him. And we got a foul on Cruz trying to stop Reece from driving. Right now, Gerald Reece is putting a clinic on for Cruz and for the rest of the North Park team. But North Park playing very solid ball, staying right in this ball game.
I think with the effectiveness of Reece at this point that I believe North Park's going to have to go to a zone. I don't believe they can handle him in a one-on-one situation.
Cruz fouls him again.
William Penn foul is on number 23, Cruz.
That's 2 on Cruz.
The Vikings' 5th team foul.
We'll be getting into the one-on-one real quick here, and Penn did shoot free throws better in the second half of last night's ball game, something we've had problems with in the late season.
They were 9 for 11 in the second half last night. Reece, Clausen switches off on him. Crowd wanted turning the ball over, but the officials didn't see it. Wilson with the ball over to Malone. Back to Reece. Reece drives on Clausen. And we got a foul on Clausen on the drive. So that's 2 now on Clausen, 6 on the team. And William Penn now will be shooting a 1-and-1 on any foul from now on.
I can't believe that North Park is staying with this man-to-man, getting into the foul trouble they are, and the way Reece is just taking it one-on-one and doing what he can with the ball. I believe that on this time down the floor, North Park has made 3 fouls, and it's very difficult to win doing this type of thing.
Moore controls, Groot on him. Moore looked for the drive, had it cut off by Groot. Over Malone, the top of the key, inside to Reece. Reece on Cruz, blocked there by Clausen, but Cruz was out of bounds and he grabbed the ball.
I felt on probably one of the most obvious fouls. They didn't get it. Reece was hanging there, and no way he couldn't have got ball and avoided hitting Gerald on that particular play.
Reece into Wilson, back up to Moore. Over Malone, the top of the key. Malone losing the ball there. Clausen brings it up. Thomas at the free throw line. Jump shot's up and good. Mike Thomas now with 8 points for North Park. Thomas there showing why he's also an All-American.
Even as well as Penn is playing offensively at this time, we have to play some defense. We're behind in the ball game, and Gerald has 16 points. We're just going to have to get tough on the defense, not allow them to have the break, and go after it hard.
Good defense a minute ago by Cruz on Reece, knocked the ball away. Moore now drives on Thomas, throws it up, no good. Rebounded by Cruz. And North Park on the break has a 3-on-1 break, but throw it away. Turn over to Mike Thomas.
We were very fortunate there, Ron. Again, like you said, 3-on-1 break, and it was just lack of hustle on getting down the floor on Penn's part.
Say one thing that happens, and William Penn's doing it right now, showing you that it's happened, is when Gerald Reece has a very good night of shooting, the young ball players that William Penn has under the basket have a tendency to watch Gerald. Another basket there by Reece. I guess everybody else is watching him too, but that's 18 for Reece out of William Penn's 20. William Penn on top 20-19, but as I was saying, those big men that are young and inexperienced have a tendency to watch Gerald when he's having a fine night, and that hurts them on the transition on defense because they're standing there watching. Schultz answers back for North Park. He now has 8. Him and Thomas both, 8 points for North Park. North Park on top, 21-20 with 8:40 left to go. Reece once again, now with 20 points.
We're seeing quite an offensive show on both sides, Ron. It is really fun to see. Good offensive basketball.
Thomas now, and he's travels. Oh, he caught a foul on Reece for a hack.
I think it's a good call, Ron. He got him on the way down.
Yep.
Thomas seemed to hang there for forever.
Thomas definitely going for the foul on that play. Gerald and Thomas slap hands. Last night back in the motel, both teams are staying at the Holiday Inn here in Beloit. And last night, long after many of the team members were in bed, I was out walking around, and Mike and Gerald were up talking to one another, discussing the ball game tonight, and just kind of maybe, I don't know if they give tips to one another, but the last comment they both made to one another before they went to bed was they wished each other a good ball game, and each of them said, well, however many you have, I hope I just have just as many and we have a good ball game. So neither one wanted the other one to get upper hand, but both of them wishing each other a good ball game.
I think they're gaining a lot of respect for each other here in the early going.
North Park on top, 23-22. Pass inside to Harper. Left-handed jump shot's good by 35, Ronnie Harper.
Ambidextrous, Ronnie Harper. Unbelievable how he shoots that shot with either hand. It's good to see him on the scoreboard. Give us some scoring on the inside.
Rebound there to Wilson. Good spy there by Woodrow Wilson. Good jumper. Moore downside to Harper. Harper goes up with the left hand again, has it blocked. Back up, left hand again, overshoots it. And North Park on the break. Groot looks up. William Penn got back better that time. Moore there gets called for the personal foul, reaching in on Groot. William Penn on top, 24-23 with 7:36 left to go in the first half.
Penn is now doing a better job of breaking that full court pressure, and we're getting good shots underneath. Ronnie on the last time down the floor just needed to get set up, go straight up to the basket, and use the board and put it in.
North Park just called timeout. Sorry, Clark, go ahead.
Neither occasion did he do this, and as good a jumper as he is, he can go in and put that ball in the hole and get 2 more for Penn. Go ahead, Ron.
They North Park wanted timeout, I'm sure, to discuss the defense they're going to throw on Reece. I look for him, as Clark has mentioned a couple of times here, to go to zone defenses, man-to-man, that they just are not stopping Gerald at all. And last night, the ball game was a 4-point ball game with about 11 minutes left in the game. It was 21-17, and Beloit switched to a zone defense. And from that time on, in the next 10 minutes of the ball game, Beloit ran off a 12-2 spree, was up by 12, and ended up leading by 14 at the end of the half. So I look for North Park to go to a zone here momentarily.
I believe on the some of the William Penn problems as far as their defense is just basically getting back, picking the people up, making North Park get into their offense. And we've done a better defensive job when we've forced them to set up and put pressure on them. We have not made them do that very much tonight.
North Park's offense, when they do set the ball up, is centered around Schultz and Thomas. They set picks for both those players, as they did right there. Clausen set the pick on Reece as he was guarding Thomas. Groot open on the baseline as Mua double-teamed. Good hustle there by Woodrow Wilson. Knocked the ball out of Schultz's hands. Schultz had the offensive board. Wilson reached in and knocked it out of bounds. Cruz played the ball in for North Park. Into Groot. Mua on him. Groot drives, stops. Over to Clausen. Jump shot from about 16. It's good. Jim Clausen from nearby Rockford, Illinois, has his 5th point of the night.
They're again tonight showing balanced scoring. They had 4 people in double figures last night.
Wilson over to Moole, has the ball slapped away as Moole tried to get it inside to Reece, and Groot slapped it out of bounds. North Park on top, 25-24 with 6:58 left to go in the first half.
North Park is still in their man-to-man, but I believe at their timeout they probably were concerned a lot with Gerald Reece, of course, and I imagine they'll be helping a lot on him. That should leave something else open.
Reece has Cruz on this one side over here by himself. Moore looking for him. Reece working hard on offense. Really working hard, making Cruz really work.
That is one of Gerald's trademarks. He never seems to stop moving.
Reece jump shots up and good. Gerald Reece. Cruz is all over him as he tried to get the ball. Reece made a move, jumped up, and had a foot or so of clear space and put it in the basket. 22 now for Reece. William Penn on top, 26-25.
You can see the good help that
Cruz
they're putting on Thomas
short
at this time.
Clausen was clobbered, holding his face. Reece with the ball, drives in, 12-foot jump shot's good. Reece with 24 points. We got an official's timeout as Clausen got that offensive rebound, and he was hammered in the eye by Engler. Engler goes over and asks him if he's all right now. No foul was called. Officials did not see anything. And they cannot call in anticipation or the fact they see somebody hurt. They have to see or hear the foul. So, good call by the officials not calling something just because somebody was holding their eye. Reece bring the ball down the court for William Penn, is really feeling it tonight. As Clark has said a couple of times, he's just not missing. He missed. He was about 1 for 4, 1 for 5. And then since that time, I think he's about 9 for 10. He's missed rarely.
Let's put it this way, Ron. I'm glad I don't have the assignment of taking Gerald Reece tonight.
Well, if I had the assignment, he'd probably have about 40 right now because I'd be at the other end when he was shooting.
I think I might be fouled out, Ron.
Good play there by Malone, off to Reece. Reece going down the court. And he's going to be called for traveling this time.
A very good defensive move by number 14, Mike Gordon. Did not let him have the left side, made him come back to the middle, a hesitation step, and caused the travel.
William Penn on top, 28-25 with 5:50 left to go now in the first half. Gordon into the ball game, over to Thomas. Once again, a pass stolen away. Moore almost had to pass him in the head, but he gets it down to Reece. Reece a jump shot from about 16, no good. Gerald was falling towards the baseline that time. He didn't go straight up. Off bounce when he shot it. Thus the missed shot. Grasdorf had the rebound. Thomas from the baseline.
Look at the nice help we're getting. Look at the nice help we're getting. Thomas has not hurt us too much in the last few minutes.
There's Clausen from about 17. Off and on the rim. Moole there for the rebound. Good rebound position there by the little guard, Kim Moole. Shortest man on the court. Moole drives, lays up the jump shot. It's up, no good. Good hustle there by Thomas. Retrieved the ball for North Park. Moole laid it up, just didn't get the roll. And North Park wants another timeout.
It's good to see Kim going to the basket, though. He's our of course, our second best offensive weapon, and he really is a good penetrator and seems to be able to put that ball up and get it off kiss it off the glass and get 2 points. He did it often last night. He is, of course, an all-conference, Iowa Conference ball player, and very much the court leader, and does a very good job of getting Gerald Reece the basketball.
4:56 left to go in the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. William Penn on top by a score 28-25. Or excuse me, not the ball game, but the first half, as Clark's here correcting me. Thanks, Clark. A couple of our sponsors tonight for this ball game from Oskaloosa is Ken's Heating and Air Conditioning. They have carrier heating units, and anytime they can help you out with your home heating and furnace needs, give Ken's Heating a call in Oskaloosa, Iowa. And also OH&L, Oskaloosa Home Savings and Loan Association. Any business you have is an important business to them. They'd be glad to help you out any way they can. OH&L, Oskaloosa Home Loan and Savings. Grasdorf inbounds the ball to 14, Gordon. Down to Thomas. Moore on Gordon. Gordon kicked the ball over to Grasdorf from about 17. Jump shot is up and good.
Grasdorf, even though this is his first 2 points, is a deadly shooter. He proved that last night against Augustana. A very nice touch going up.
He had 14 points last night against Augustana.
He is their second leading scorer.
Engler over to Wilson, over to Reece. Thomas now once again back on Reece. Reece spins, jump shots up and good. Gerald Reece, 26 points now for Gerald. William Penn on top, 30-27, 4:15 left to go in the first half. Gordon there on the drive. Malone jumped out. Good help by Malone. Clausen down to Gordon. Gordon inside to Clausen. Clausen has inside position, and he's fouled by Engler, and the basket is good by Clausen. 7 points now for Clausen, going for his second three-point play.
That situation, we didn't get any weak side help at all on that lob, and the pinball players know better than that. They're instructed in this way from day one, and it's just a lack of concentration at this time.
Engler there was the weak side help. He got there too late and picked up the foul in doing so. Clausen's shot was short. Thomas out to Clausen. Jump shots up. No good. Engler with the rebound. Over to Moole. William Penn on top by 1, 30-29. Moole drives into the lane. Over to Wilson on the baseline. To Engler at the free throw line. Jump shots up. No good. Moole there went up for the rebound. Was knocked down by Thomas. No foul was called, and Malone knocks it out of bounds. It'll go over to the Vikings of North Park.
I don't think Coach Richardson was especially pleased with the last shot taken by Engler. We've been having success penetrating and getting the ball to Gerald, and Larry is not really an 18-foot jump shot shooter.
Gordon wide open from 17, shoots it, no good. They had a pushing foul underneath the basket on the rebound on Woodrow Wilson.
William Penn is against number 55, Woodrow Wilson.
That's his first foul.
Much to Penn's dismay, the foul situation, is evening up, and next time, North Park is shooting 1-1 this time.
Grasdorf at the line, shooting a 1-1. First free throw's up, short. Malone with the rebound for Penn. Over to Reece. Reece pushing the ball up the court for William Penn. Grasdorf there. Thomas inside. Jump shot is good. Pretty move there by Gerald Reece into the free throw lane. Reece now with 28 points. William Penn on top, 32-29 with 3:09 left in the first half.
When Gerald feels it the way he is tonight, he seems just to be making up shots as he goes.
It's a shame right now as you see something like this going on that Gerald couldn't have had just a half as good a night as he last night as he did tonight. Because with a half that good a night last night, it would have been a whole different ball game.
And I think Beloit is probably taking a sigh of relief that he did have off night last night, and they can now see what Gerald Reece can actually do.
Clausen picked up his third foul there, and Reece will go at the free throw line to shoot a 1-1. Gerald Reece right now shooting his season's average of 28 points already here in the first half with 3 minutes left.
That is a very important foul on Clausen. He's been very tough here in the first half, and he's just picked up his third one.
Reece shooting 1-1. First free throw is up. No good, too long.
Gerald still having trouble with the stripe.
42 tourists into the ball game for Clausen. Gordon goes inside, jump shot is up and good. Mike Gordon got by Kim Moore. Terry Malone came up to challenge, but not get his hands up in the air. He tried to take the charge and did not get it. William Penn on top by 1, 32-31. This has been the Gerald Reece show, actually, against North Park. Once again, Reece on the baseline, back to Moore. Moore from about 16, shot is up and good. In and out, but back in. Nice speed there by Gerald Reece. Got the double team, saw Kim free and hit him with the pass.
This is one thing Gerald's going to have to do as they concentrate more and more on him. Other people are going to be left open.
We had a personal foul called on 42 Torres there, as him and Malone were going after one another, and Torres is the one that got charged with a personal foul. Malone, who has been the best free throw shooter for William Penn in the last 4 or 5 ball games, now will be going to the line and shoot a 1-and-1.
At the free throw line.
I think it was just a matter of which foul the official saw that particular time. I think they were really going after it down low, and just happened the Torres of North Park was caught.
Our delay right here is probably discussing what Clark said. The North Park coach, Dan McCarroll, was discussing with the official about which man fouled who. William Penn on top by 3, 34-31, with 2:16 left to go in the ball game. Terry Malone to the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1. Tries to build that lead to 4 and the 5. Malone's first free throw is up. It's good. For Malone, that's his first point of the night. Reece with 28, Moore with 4, and Harper with 2, and Malone with 1, now 2. That's the scoring right there for William Penn. William Penn on top by 5 now, 36-31 with 2:14 left to go in the first half. Gordon down to Mike Thomas, got open on the baseline, jump shots up and good. Mike Thomas now with 12 points for North Park.
I'm glad he isn't getting any more shots than he is, because I believe that he's drained every one of them.
Reece got it by Thomas. Reece spins on Thomas, jump shots up. No good, but Thomas is going to pick up his second foul. That's 2 on him. I'm sure Coach Richardson is going to tell Gerald if Thomas is on him to just to go after him one-on-one and try to get him in foul trouble. First free throw by Reece is good.
Direction, that was for 2 shots.
Did he make that?
Yes. First free throw good by Gerald Reece. William Penn on top, 37-33. Do you hear what the announcement was that he just made?
Yeah, he scored more points in the regional than any other player.
Oh, we mean one single game?
No, Division 3.
All playoff games.
Reece's second free throw is good.
You got it?
38-33. William Penn on top with 1:51 left to go. Traveling there on the call. Clark, what was that announcement? This made an announcement ago. What was that, Clark?
Mike Thomas of North Park has played on, as we have mentioned earlier, he's played on 3 consecutive national title teams at North Park, and this is his 4th year in postseason play. He has just set a record for most points in postseason NCAA Division III games. He has just picked up his 3rd foul, too.
Gerald Reece, as I said, going one-on-one against Thomas, and Thomas picks up his 3rd foul.
And that is quite an outstanding statistic for Mike Thomas. You can see the value that he has of this team and the greatness of this particular ball player.
As we said, Mike Thomas, quite a career. Senior this year. The first 3 years, they win the national championship. He comes in here this year hoping to upset number 7 or 9 ranked Augustana and get a shot at number 1 Beloit. But last night just wasn't to be, as 3 times they cut the lead down to 3 points that Augustana had, and all 3 times it ballooned back to 7 within just a few seconds. So it was not meant to be for Mike Thomas to have those 4 in a row on those national championships. Reece's second free throw is also good. William Penn on top, 40-33.
Gerald now has 32 points. I would like to find a record book here at halftime and see what the record is for a performance by a single performer, 4 points. Gerald can't be too far off of it.
Another turnover against North Park. William Penn working hard that time defensively inside to cut off the passing lane, and it paid off in a turnover. William Penn on top by 7, 40-33 with 1:24 left to go in the first half. And we had a blocking foul on 15 Groot. That's his second. Reese to go to the free throw line to shoot another 1-and-1.
Very difficult call in that situation. 15 Groot, I believe, has to get his feet set, get in front of him, and just did not do it. A lot of North Park fans disagreed, but it was a good call.
First free throw by Reese. Takes his time. Shots up and good. Gerald Reece, 33 points now on the night. Penn with 41 against 33 for North Park. So Gerald Reece and North Park is tied 33-33, while the rest of the members of Penn's team has made it 41-33. Quite a ball game here by Gerald Reece, putting on a show for these fans. 34 now for Gerald. William Penn on top 42-33 with 1:20. Both coaches on the Penn's bench just yelling at their team to keep playing defense, keep hustling. Gordon with the ball, looks inside, nothing there. Schultz over to Tours.
They're being very patient. If they work it down too much further, they might go for just the one shot. That might be what they're working for right now with Thomas out of the ball game.
Down inside to Groot. Back out to Gordon. Gordon drives the free throw line. Jump shot is up and good. Good shot there by Mike Gordon. That's 4 points for Gordon on the night.
I don't know if that was a shot that Coach McCarroll was actually looking for in that type of situation, but he did put it in, so all the power to him.
Moore on the drive. Down inside to Reese. Reese had the ball knocked out of his hands. It hit the baseline, and William Penn will control. That time Reese was triple teamed as there were 3 yellow jerseys around him as he went up for the shot. Somebody did get a hand in and knocked the ball out of bounds. Wilson, the inbounds pass over to Moore at the free throw line. Moore drives, jump shot is up. Good pump, and it fell in for him. Nice move there by 21, Kim Moore. And William Penn on top by 9, 44-35 with 18 seconds left here in the ball game.
Penn has just changed to a zone defense for this last 12 seconds to try to confuse North Park.
They had to make up. Groot inside, jump shots up, no good. Malone with the rebound. Up to Engler. Down to Reese. Jump shot is up. They counted it. They did count it. And that gives Reese for the first half 36 points. What a first half for William Penn's Gerald Reece. 36 in the first half. William Penn on top, 46-35 after 20 minutes of play. And just an offensive show here by William Penn's Gerald Reece.
I wish that he would add about another 3 seconds on the clock when he went in for that last layup. I think we'd have seen Gerald bring one down. Big first half for Penn. They're playing well. They've shown the people here why they were the best team in the Iowa Conference this year and why Gerald Reece is one of the premier players in the Nation Division III.
Some stats here at halftime. North Park's All-American Mike Thomas has come away with 12 points for them, but he picked up 3 fouls. They had a defensive switching assignment, put him on Reese, and he picked up 2 fouls and had to sit out the last 4 minutes of the first half. With those 3 fouls, they could possibly be in trouble. I still look for North Park to go to a zone defense when we get into the second half because of the foul problems.
I don't understand it, Ron. Anytime a player scores that many points, I don't care if they're double teaming, triple teaming him, but he's still putting the ball in the hole. It's I can't, and all the foul problems they are having. Penn is 8 for 9 at the free throw line. Everything would lead to them going to a zone defense, especially another aspect of it is that Penn has had trouble with zone defenses. And we saw North Park run a zone defense effectively last night, so it's not as though they don't have a zone defense. I'd like to know what was going through Coach McCarroll's mind right now.
Well, I got a couple of minutes here at halftime we'll take and come back with some statistics here before the start of the second half. Just a note here, a couple of our sponsors for tonight's ball game are Mahaska Cablevision, who are bringing this game into your homes, TV Man Incorporated, who have set up the facilities here for us to carry this game back to Oskaloosa for you. A couple of sponsors, Eastern Super Value in Oskaloosa, Iowa, open 24 hours a day for your grocery and household needs. And the Hull House Restaurant, where you can get the finest food and feature live entertainment nightly at the Hull House Lounge and Restaurant in Oskaloosa, Iowa. So this is Clark Johnson and Ron Seifert saying we'll see you right here at the beginning of the second half. We'll be back with some statistics, and we'll see you in just a few minutes. Thank you.
I don't even know who holds that.
What's going on with that team right there?
Take it now? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Okay, John, we're back. Back for the second half here, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome back to the second half, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes left to go here before the tip-off for the second half. William Penn on top by a score of 46-35. Gerald Reece with 36 points in the first half is about the only thing you can say about that first half. Just an outstanding shooting night for Gerald Reece. North Park, as I said earlier, led by Thomas, who has 12 points, but also 3 personal fouls at the time, as he was the young man who guarded Reece partially in the first half. Clausen, another one of the leading players for North Park, with 7 points here in the first half, also has 3 personal fouls. That being a very telltale story here going into the second half. Reece was 15 out of 22 from the field. That's about 72 to 71%. Just a phenomenal shooting from the field. He was 6 of 7 from the free throw line. That's 84%. While the team as a whole was 19 from 33 from the free throw or from the field, that's a 58% for the whole team as a whole. 8 of 9 from the free throw line. That's 88%. So the William Penn shooting just phenomenally, both from the field and the free throw line. The only free throw they missed was Gerald's first one. He missed it, and since that time he canned 6 in a row. And not Beloit, but North Park shot 16 out of 26 from the field, 63%. So they shot a great percentage, but the number of turnovers they had, which looking here is not listed here. I don't have their number of turnovers, but I know they had many more turnovers than the Statesmen had. They had 7 less shots, shot a much better percentage, but Penn made them work for their shots. Thomas, when he did get an open shot, he was 5 for 6 from the field, so when Thomas did get open, he did put the ball in the basket.
It is important to note that in the Penn was able to get its lead in the last actual 2 minutes of the first half. With 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go, Penn was ahead by a score of 36-33. So the last 2 minutes, we outscored North Park 10-0. Also like to mention that Gerald Reece, much of his success, of course, was his own personal ability in the first half, but Penn did get him the ball. They realized that he was hot. They passed up some good shots to get Gerald the ball so he could put the ball in the hoop. And so you have to credit the other ball players, too.
Okay, base car jumping center again. Tip control by Reece. Penn starting lineup is Carr, Malone, Wilson, Reece, and Moole, the same one that started the ball game. Reece driving inside, had the ball slapped out of his hands by Groot, but William Penn recovers the ball on the turnover.
Good hustle by Bates Carr.
Moole guarded by Thomas. They got Groot once again on Reece. Offensive foul. They called Gerald for putting that right arm out. Got his feet tangled up, and he started to fall and stuck his right arm out, and that's 2 fouls on Gerald. North Park starting lineup, Groot, Krustorf, Schultz, Clausen, and Thomas. Their starting lineup, just as Penn's was to start the game. Krustorf from about 17, short. Moole there for the rebound. Kim Moole with another defensive rebound for the Statesman.
You find that North Park is still in their man-to-man defense. And the Groot is starting on Reece here in the second half. Thomas has picked up Moole.
Moole could even try to work on Thomas himself. Reece with an 8-foot jump shot. It's good. Gerald Reece, 38 points now for Gerald. William Penn on top by 13, 48-35, with 19 minutes left to go in the ball game. Thomas over to Groot. Jump shot is up, and no good. Moole there for the rebound. Good rebound there by the 5'10" Kim Moole. He's listed as 6 foot, but he's only about 5'10". Malone inside. Jump shots off the backboard and no good. Contact down there. Schultz and Malone both hit the deck, but no foul called. Thomas controlling for North Park. Over to Groot. Inside of Schultz. Jump shot is up. No good. Bates Carr there with a good rebound. William Penn hitting the boards well here in the second half. Moole guarded there by Thomas. Inside to Reece. Triple team. Over to Bates Carr. Inside. And
foul on Grastorf, I believe,
yep.
Ron.
That's his first.
This is the type of thing that Gerald's going to have to do. They are really clamping down on him. Bates Carr came down the lane like a bandit and got the ball and almost got the 2 points, but will get 2 shots on the foul by Grastorf. This is another thing Penn did well in the first half. They hit 9 out of 10 free throws. Let's see if we can continue with as good a success.
Bates hit the first one. Penn 8 for 9 in the first half. 9 for 10 for the ball game.
That is Bates' first point of the ball game.
First half rebounding. North Park did out-rebound the Statesman 14-10 in the first half. 4 of those rebounds coming, as you remember, on one time down the court when North Park got 4 offensive rebounds and had 4 opportunities at the basket.
I think part of Penn's ability to increase their lead is that they are making North Park set up in their offense, and we're playing a good, tough man-to-man defense, and it's really helping out, just as Bates Carr just did there against against Thomas.
Reece on Thomas. Thomas drives the baseline, breaks free, left-handed jump shots up and good. Pretty shot there by Mike Thomas.
That is one beautiful shot. That's a tough one, coming in there on the baseline with your left hand.
14 for Thomas now in the game. William Penn on top, 50-37, with 17 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the ball game. Moole on the wing.
They're still basically going with the same offense they did the first half. It's called a spread and hook. They'll get the ball to Moole on one side. Reece is trying to post down on the red block, get him the ball and let him go one-on-one.
And North Park still in a man-to-man defense. Moole controls. Thomas on him. Moole looking for Gerald inside. Gerald right now seems to... Now he starts to work. He was kind of relaxed there for a little bit, letting Moole work on Thomas. Moole drives. Back door to Reece. Turnaround jump shots up. Good. Gerald Reece. 40 points now for Gerald. Defense jumped out there with a hand. Clausen was out on him, but he shot over him and put it in the bucket. 52-37. William Penn on top. Thomas, Groot on the opposite side. Jump shots up. No good. Grassdorf with a good tip in there. 4 points now for Grassdorf on the night. William Penn on top, 52-39. Moole on the drive, looking for Reece, down and under, gets it to him. And we're going to have a foul on Groot before the shot. Reece put it in, but it doesn't count. Groot got the foul. That'll be his third.
Groot in this situation is just trying to push Gerald out as far as he can and not allowing him to get the ball 10 feet from the basket. That is why they're picking up as many fouls as they are. They're just trying to be too physical.
Reece with the ball into Wilson, over to Moole. Moole down to Reece on the baseline. Reece had about a 10-foot jump shot. Tried to drive the baseline. Thomas there with an attempt to steal. Moole on the drive. Had it blocked from behind by Clausen. North Park on a 3-on-1. Good pass from Groot over to Thomas, and Thomas lays it in. Good fast break there by North Park, and Thomas now with 16 points of his own. William Penn on top by 11, 52-41. Moore drives down the baseline. Jump shot is up. Has it blocked. We're going to have a personal foul called on Clausen, and that's 4 on him.
That's a big foul. That's the type of thing you're going to create when you penetrate. Even if Clausen didn't think he had to foul, the referee, it's a very tough decision call. Whether there was contact, whether he got all ball, whether he got part arm, whether he got his body. Well, they did call the foul, number 4 on Clausen, and we have a timeout.
North Park calling the timeout there. Now a word from our sponsors. Sponsoring tonight's ball game, ladies and gentlemen, from Beloit. Some of the sponsors from Oskaloosa, Ken's Heating and Air Conditioning and Furnace for your household needs and heating and cooling your house during the summer and the winter. Call on Ken's Heating in Oskaloosa, Iowa. Easter Super Value Store, open 24 hours a day, open for your grocery and household needs. Whole House Restaurant and Lounge featuring fine food, lobster, shrimp, and steaks, fine salads. Feature nightly entertainment that is live. They have a very nice lounge. We're welcome anytime there, before the games, after the games, or just relaxing some evening. Come on down to the Hall House in Oskaloosa. And OHL, Oskaloosa Home Loan and Savings. No business is too small for them. If you have money decisions to make, come in and let them help you. Oskaloosa Home Loan Savings. Moore will be at the free throw line now, shooting at 2 shots, foul.
I believe that the coach of North Park, McCarroll, believes that the game is really in a critical stage, leaving Clausen in with his 4 fouls. I think it also leans to that North Park does not have that strong a bench, and they're going to have to go with the people that can bring them back right now, even if it is risking, say, Clausen getting his 5th foul.
Moore makes both free throws for William Penn. William Penn's only missed 1 free throw the whole night, and that is a big story in this ball game. Grassdorf open inside, jump shots up and good. No help on the weak side again there by William Penn, and Grassdorf crashes in on the basket. 6 points now for him. William Penn on top by 11, 54-43 with 15 minutes and 38 seconds left in the game. William Penn in a spread situation here. Reece with the jump shot. Left hand was up, no good. Thomas with the rebound.
That was good help on North Park's side.
Grassdorf from the baseline, jump shots up and good. 2 in a row for him. And Coach Richardson wants a timeout as North Park cut that lead to 9.
I think it's a good timeout at this particular point in time. Penn is losing a little bit of its momentum, and North Park is picking up the tempo, bringing up the ball up the floor quickly, and getting good shots. They're beating us down the floor, and Penn cannot afford this type of thing to happen.
William Penn on top, 54-45, with 15-17 left to go in the ball game. A couple other sponsors for the night's broadcast, bringing this game to you in your home. Mahassa Cablevision across their network, and the TV Man Incorporated, responsible for filming and editing this broadcast and bringing it to you for your entertainment into your home. This is brought into your home for your enjoyment only, and any rebroadcast or any other use of this game is prohibited. Moore inbounds the ball. North Park in a man-to-man full-court press. William Penn breaks it pretty easy as Moore brings the ball up. Moore uses Malone's pick. Drives on Thomas. Back out to Malone. Coach Richardson asking for his players to run their spread game, run a little time off the clock and look for an easy shot. Reece with the ball.
It's interesting, every time Gerald Reece goes down to watch the conversion on him, that the people in North Park are so aware of where he is.
He had a turnover there. Gerald got triple team when he put the ball down on the court. He had it slapped away. So North Park with a chance to cut it to 7. Groot on the drive. Over to Thomas. Jump shot is up. Pump, no good. Rebound, run down by Clausen. Clausen over to Thomas. Drives. Kicks off to Groot. Back to Thomas. And Mull steals the ball away for William Penn. Stepped on the end line. Good hustle there by Mull. Slapped the ball out of Clausen's hand. Clausen complaining that he was hacked. Grasdorf. Over to Groot. Groot to Grasdorf. Thomas from about 16. Thought he was going to take the shot. Groot drives. Jump shots up. No good. And Malone knocked it out of bounds. We'll go over to North Park.
Groot is having a very tough shooting night. Usually a pretty effective shooter, shooting nearly 50% from the field for the season.
He was 0 for 8 in the first half.
And he has not improved that throughout the second half.
Thomas guarded by Reece.
Good help by Woodrow Wilson.
Clausen over to Groot. Back to Thomas. Thomas open on the baseline from about 16. It's good. Mike Thomas now with 18 points for North Park, and that lead is down to 7. 54-47. William Penn with 13:42 left to go in the game. William Penn now in a motion offense. Wilson with the ball, free throw line. Down to Reece. Reece drives on Groot. Jump shot is up. It's good. Gerald Reece now with 42 points.
He is finding it much more difficult to get the ball, but once he gets it, he sure knows what to do with it.
William Penn on top by 9. 56-47. Thomas jump shot is up and good.
Pretty
Nice
play.
shot there by Mike Thomas. 20 now for Thomas. Bull drives, kicks off to Reece from the baseline. Jump shot's good. Gerald Reece, 44 now for Gerald.
That's one of the few shots tonight that he hasn't had the hand in his face.
Mulder made a penetration, created that shot for Gerald. Grasdorf throws the ball away. William Penn on top by 9, trying to get it back up to the double figures again.
This is an important turn of events for Penn. North Park, before the last time out, was gaining momentum. We seem to have gotten the game back under control.
Mull picked up by Clausen as they switch. Woodrow from the free throw line. It's up and short. Ball kicked out. Woodrow controls. Reece now drives. Jump shot is up. No good. That time Schultz came out and helped very nicely for North Park. Got a hand in Gerald's face. He had to change his shot just enough that it was off. Clausen inside to Grasdorf. Woodrow Wilson playing good defense there. Blocked by Gerald, but a foul call. That's 3 on Gerald now. And him and Thomas both with 3 personal fouls. Thomas will be shooting 2. William Penn on top, 58-49 with 12:13 left to go in the game.
That was another tough decision to call, whether he got ball or whether he got a hand also.
Kirk Listerbarger getting ready to check into the ball game for the first time tonight. With this defense slacking in on Reece, if they can get the ball to Gerald and then kick the ball back out to Kirk on the outside, and he's hitting, he could hurt North Park now from the outside with his shot. And I'm sure that's what they're going to probably try to do here a little bit. Woodrow getting a rest. And Thomas to shoot 2 from the free throw line.
Penn has done very little substituting tonight compared to most of their other regular season games. We have a team out there that has been working well together, and Coach Richardson has just decided to go with these people.
Both free throws are good. Lead again at 7. 58-51. William Penn on top. 12-10 now left to go in the ball game. Mull. Thomas falls down. Mull drives in, shoots a 12-foot jump shot, and it's good. Kim Mull. Thomas got his feet tangled up and fell down, and Mull took advantage of it. Nobody came out to challenge or help Thomas after Mull got away, and that left Kim open for the shot. Schultz with the ball. Jump shot over Malone. It's short. Good hustle there by Schultz. And Reece is going to come up with the ball. Drives on Groot. Goes in, lays it up. It's no good. Base Carr had a chance to rebound but could not control, and Thomas does for North Park. William Penn on top by 9, 60-51.
He just seems to be everywhere tonight.
Clausen there, guarded by Listerbarger. Groot by Mull. Down to Grasdorf. Jump shots up. No good, and Mull in for the rebound. Nice rebound there by Kim Mull.
Kim is the second leading rebounder on this ball club, being the smallest one, and he just is very aggressive on the boards, has a good anticipation of where the ball's going to go. And that's a daring play by Clausen with 4 personal fouls.
And Thomas missed the layup. My, what a chance there for North Park to cut that lead back down to 7, and Mike Thomas just missed the layup. Mull on the drive, down the baseline, cut off by Grasdorf. Into Reese in the free throw lane, jump shots up, in and out, no good. Bates Carr with the rebound and back in. Good job there by Bates Carr on the offensive boards.
It's important that the offensive rebounders for Penn, when Gerald decides to put one up, that they go to the glass. I think they seem to be taking it for granted a little bit that he's going to make every one he takes. Nice shot by Thomas.
He now has 24. Good move there by Mike Thomas. Malone came out to challenge. Mike laid it up over Terry's hands and put it in the bucket. Mull guarded by Thomas. Over to Reese. Reese at the free throw line. Clausen right there on him. Good pass by Reese to Malone, and it's a bucket. Nice assist there by 15, Gerald Reece, showing he not only can score, but he can pass the ball also. And William Penn up by 11 again, 64-53. Clausen inside to Thomas. Nice play there by North Park. Thomas open inside. Good pass by Clausen. Inside to Mike. Mike now with 26 points in the ball game. Offensive foul on Gerald Reece. That's 4 on him.
That's a very big foul. It looks like Gerald is just getting a little bit tired on the defensive end. With as good a scorer as Thomas is, the way he moves around, and as hard as Gerald is working on the offensive end, he has really had to go at both ends 100%, 110%, and it looks to be taking its toll a little bit. That's the 4th foul on Gerald.
William Penn on top, 64-55, a 9-point lead with 9:44 left to go in the game. Gerald has 42 points. Just a note here, the William Penn College record in one game scoring is 49, set by Steve Burton in 1968. Gerald, of course, within reach of that right now, as long as he does not foul out of this ball game. Needs 7 more points to tie that record. 9:44 left to go. Reese with 4. Clausen with 4.
Here at Beloit tonight at the regional in Janesville Gray, 24, Beloit Memorial 31.
The crowd reaction is for a high school basketball game being played in another location here in Beloit, Wisconsin.
William Penn this time out. I'm sure Coach Richard is asking his ball players just to take their time, look for good percentage shots from this point on, and play good, tenacious defense. They have to keep North Park from getting on a scoring binge and getting back in this ball game.
I think you'll probably see that Penn will change defenses in a way that they might go to a zone, or else Gerald will not be guarding Thomas. I might be wrong, but that's a possibility. That's possibly going through the mind of Coach Leon Richardson at this time.
Went to the zone, Clark. 2-3, 2-1-2, however you want to call it. Groove from about 18's up, no good. Reese had the ball momentarily, lost it, and Grasdorf takes it up and lays it in.
And you have to give a very nice assist to Clausen in that particular play. Kept the ball alive, got it to Grasdorf, and got the basket.
William Penn on top by 7. Mull on the drive, lays it up, no good, but he's going to be caught. There's a foul on the play. Called on, I think, Schultz.
The North Park foul is number 53.
That's his first.
His first. Mull is at the line. He'll shoot 2.
Mull at the line, shooting 2 free throw lines.
For the Vikings.
14 fouls now on North Park here in the second half. Mull's first shot is up, no good. Second free throw missed tonight by the Statesmen. They need these free throws now. Once they start getting here in the late stage of the game, need to make their free throws. Mull's second shot is no good also. Rebound by North Park's Thomas, and they have a chance to cut that lead now down to 5. Thomas, William Penn in his own defense. Thomas over to Groot. Inside to Clausen, back to Thomas. Thomas drives on Mull. Groot. Back to Thomas. Inside to Clausen at the free throw line. Thomas from about 18th up. No good, and Listerbarger there for the rebound.
That's one of the few shots that Thomas has missed tonight. He did get out a little bit further than what he has most of the night.
And that's 4 fouls now on Mike Thomas. Nobody helped him. That is something on defense which you have to teach your men to do. When they see a pick coming, they have to yell at the other ball player, let him know he's got a blind pick. And nobody bothered to tell Mike Thomas there was a pick set, and he ran into it full blast and picked up his 4th foul.
And when Larry Engler decides that he wants to set a pick, he sure can set a nice one.
Moore now guarded by Thomas. Reece guarded by Groot, looks inside. Engler there, turnaround jump shot is good. Nice shot there by Penn's Larry Engler. That's Engler's first 2 points of the night. And William Penn on top again by 9, 66-57. Clausen over to Thomas, back to Groot. Down to Grassthorpe. Jump shot by Grassthorpe is good. Second half play here. Thomas and Grassthorpe has carried the Vikings of North Park. Grassthorpe now with 10 points here in the second half. Moore.
Penn has changed their offense to their motion game. They've gone out of their spread and hook.
Malone over to Listabarger from about 17. It's good. Kirk Listabarger. And William Penn keeps that 9-point lead, 68-59 with 7:45 left in the ball game.
I think it's good at this time that the Penn is going not going completely away from Gerald Reece, but they are giving him a little bit of a break as far as not giving him the ball quite as often. He's not having to carry the full load at this time.
Thomas there with 2 points, 28 for him now. Moore on the drive baseline. Over to Engler. Jump shots up and good. Nice feed there from William Penn's Kim Moore. Moore, who rewrote the record books on the assist record at William Penn for a single season and career, adds another one to that career list. Schultz, nice pass inside to Clausen, got a foul on Listerbarger. Design play there by North Park. They hit Clausen to the free throw line as the defense reacts, comes towards him. Schultz will kick in underneath the basket and look for the pass. Got it that time. Listerbarger reacted, fouled. Kirk's first foul. William Penn on top by 9, 70-61. Clausen from the free throw line. It's good. Clausen with 9. William Penn on top by 7, 70-63 with 6:50 left to go in the ball game. Mole driving on Thomas. Over to Engler. Back to Listerbarger.
The crowd is asking for a travel as Engler and Reece got
inside
intertwined there.
Engler hook shot is good. Larry Engler with a nice fadeaway jump hook there. Not a move you see very often from him, but it did drop for him.
And Larry has helped out the scoring here with 3 baskets here in the last few minutes.
William Penn on top by 9. In a zone defense here. Groot over to Grassdorf, down to Clausen. Clausen from about 16, no good. Schultz up high, kept it alive. Grassdorf controls out to Thomas. Good offensive boards there by North Park. Kept the ball alive. Schultz there from about 16 feet, and it's good. 12 for Schultz on the night. William Penn on top by 7 again, 72-65.
You can see if North Park gets squared up to the basket, they are all very, very good shooters.
Got a foul on Kurt Listerbarger inside for pushing.
He was trying to set a pick there for Gerald Reece and came into the person, throwing his shoulder into the, I believe, Groot, who is guarding Reece at this time, and did get called for the foul. Wilson is in for Listerbarger now.
And North Park with a chance once again to cut it to 5. The closest they have been has been 7. Clausen the free throw line over to Groot. Kicked out of bounds by Gerald Reece.
Groot is real hesitant in taking that shot right now. As we have mentioned before, he's had a difficult time shooting the ball. Possibly that is the man that Penn will let alone out there and let him shoot the ball. He is very hesitant, and if he takes him, and hopefully he will miss him.
Grassdorf over to Groot. Groot drives over to Thomas. Thomas from about 18. No good this time. Engler. And they got a jump ball called. Engler and Grassdorf crashed together as they went up for the ball. No foul was called, and a jump ball.
Just a lot of good physical basketball in there between Grassdorf and Engler. Let's get up with him, Larry.
Grassdorf, a fine jumper. control to Thomas. Jump shots up and good. Nice pump fake there by Thomas. Thomas with 30 points now. William Penn on top by 5, 72-67. Moore on the drive. Stops over to Wilson. Wilson to Malone. Crowd chanting for defense. Reece driving on Groot. Good pass to Engler, and it lays it in. Great feed there by Gerald Reece, showing here in the last 5 minutes he doesn't have to shoot the ball to be effective. He's just had 3 or 4 nice feeds.
He's given his teammates layups.
There's that shot from Groot, and he misses it again, and Moore has the rebound. Had it knocked out of his hand on a good defensive play by Thomas. Jump shot by Thomas is good.
The sad thing about the steal there by North Park is that we had Reece racing down the left side, uncontested, and we know that Kim Moore would have got him the ball if he could have controlled it.
Moore inside with a nice move. Lays it up under Clausen's outreached arm. And William Penn on top by 7, 76-69.
He has that uncanny ability to go in there with bigger players and get that shot to go through.
Clausen misses the lay-in. Schultz gets the ball back. We're going to have a foul called on, looks like Wilson. Yes, Woodrow Wilson picks up the foul.
2 times down the floor, we've been able to have North Park miss on field goal opportunities, have our hands on the ball, and get out of our hands in North Park to score once, and let's see what they can do this time down the floor.
Kim Moore has very quietly chipped in 12 points for the Statesman. Thomas from way out, about 22 foot there, lays it in. Thomas now has 34 points in the ball game. Reece with the ball, guarded by Groot.
We're down to 4 minutes to play in this ball game.
Moore on the drive, loses the ball on a turnover, and North Park with a chance to cut it to 3. William Penn on top by 5 with 3:49 left to go in the game. Thomas from about 17 again. It's good. Thomas now with 40 points.
Leon is asking for a timeout.
Coach Leon Richardson calls timeout. William Penn on top by 3, 76-73. 3:37 left in the ball game. Mike Thomas now with 36 points for North Park. William Penn's Gerald Reece with 42. Gerald held to 6 points so far here in the second half.
Are you planning on doing anything in the second game? Cut it off. We won't fail that long. I'm doing it.
In this type of situation, it's difficult to say for sure what Coach Leon Richardson is telling his ball club at this time. Probably, we might be slowing it up just a little bit, Ron, working for the very, very good shots and getting it to Reece possibly, or having Reece dish it off like he has to our big people inside for layups. I think the big thing for William Penn right now is to come out and play some defense. Mike Thomas is eating us alive right now, and we can't allow that to happen. We can't allow him to take that good shot out there. It's possible that we might move back into our man-to-man defense, because ever since we've gone to that zone, he has gone wild on us.
North Park pressures man-to-man on the inbound play. Over to Wilson and to Reece. Reece guarded by Groot.
Well, it looks like we're going back to our spread and hook.
Moore guarded by Thomas. Down to Reece inside, moves on Groot. Jump shot is up and good by Gerald Reece. That spread game did work. Spread him out. They couldn't triple team Gerald, and he laid it up and in. 44 down for Gerald. William Penn on top again by 5, 78-73.
And we are back in our man-to-man with Kim Moore now taking Thomas.
Grasdorf from about 17. It's up and good. Grasdorf, 14 points now for him. And North Park trails by 3. Wilson with the ball. Over to Moore. Started there by Thomas. Moore down to Gerald. Turnaround jump shot. Stolen away by Groot. Good defensive play there by North Park's Groot.
Beautiful defensive play. Let's play some D of our own. Come on now, Penn.
78-75. William Penn on top. 2:35 left to go. Thomas from about 17. Jump shots up. No good. Clausen with the rebound to Thomas inside. Jump shots up and good. Mike Thomas now with 38 points, and William Penn on top by 1, 78-77. 2:20 left in the ball game. Moore has the ball for Penn, guarded by Thomas. Over to Malone. Down to Reece. Reece with the ball, controls. Over to Malone. Malone looking for Moore. Down to Reece inside.
Go to the ball.
Reece inside, left-handed shot, no good. Moore there with the follow. And Moore's in there, will be shooting. We're going to call Schultz there for the foul.
We have the smallest man on the floor going in, and there are a lot of big men around that glass. And he went up and got it, put it up once, came back down and got it, and the foul was on Schultz. Very, very important play. When we see Reece in that situation where he is going to the basket, our big people have got to go hit the board.
Moore there hustling out to get the inbounds pass. William Penn on top by 1 with 1:54 left in the game. Looking for Reece. There it is inside. Jump shot is up. Off the glass and good. Gerald Reece now with 46.
46, I believe that is correct, Ron.
46 points now for Reece. And Groot lays it in for North Park. William Penn by 1, 79-80.
We have 1:31 to go in the ball game.
Moore on the drive. Drives down, lays up the jump shot. No good, and North Park with the ball. Moore must a little jump shot, and North Park calls timeout with 1 minute and 17 seconds left to go in the game. William Penn on top, 80-79.
I don't think you can really fault Kim Moole on that particular shot. He got by his man. He was not picked up very well. He was very effective on that type of shot, and just would not roll over for him and go in. A tough situation, but now we have to worry about the defensive end. We have 1:17, and we're up by 1 point against North Park.
Scoring record here in the field house was set in 1950 by Ron Bontemps against Monmouth, 57 points.
Well, Ron, they're giving the Beloit gymnasium scoring record by 57 points by a Beloit ball player back in the 1950s, so Gerald Reece is not going to reach that without a overtime at least, or maybe more than one overtime, but still, as fine a performance I've ever seen Gerald Reece have.
I believe it's 40.
46 points for Gerald Reece. William Penn on top, 80-79 with 1:17 left to go in the game. North Park with the ball. Interesting to see here where the North Park will play for one last shot, possibly taken with 10 seconds left or something like that, so they do have a chance for a rebound and whether they go straight for the bucket. Groot guarded by Reece.
They're going to be awfully choosy with this shot. They're going to work hard, and if they get a real good one, like a layup or a good open shot for Thomas, they'll take it.
There's the inbound shot. They count the basket. There's an offensive foul. North Park is on top, 81-80.
The foul is on Schultz. And will move to the eastern of the court for 1-1 for the Statesman.
Gerald Reece officially has 48 points in the ball game. Needs one more to tie the school record.
At the line, we have Woodrow Wilson, a 58% free thrower on the season. Very clutch free throws for this young freshman.
Free throws good. We got a tie ball game, 81-80 with 58 seconds left to go in the game. Reece with 48. William Penn tie with right now with 58 seconds left, 81-81. Woodrow to shoot the second half of the 1-and-1. The young freshman from Tampa, Florida, puts up the second shot, and it's good. And William Penn is on top, 82-81, and William Penn calls time out.
Well, you can give Woodrow Wilson a lot of credit right there. With 58 seconds to go and a 1-on-1 free throw after taking a dynamite charge against Schultz. He just put both of them in. There wasn't any doubt about either one either.
Both teams have one timeout left.
Well, quite a ball game here, ladies and gentlemen. Gerald Reece with 48 points. Needs one more to tie the school record and one more to break that school's record. With 58 seconds left, we may not see. If William Penn would hold here on defense, get the ball back, we may not see another shot. taken by them unless there's a foul situation. I'm sure North Park will not foul Reece when that opportunity comes along.
I believe that North Park will try to bring the ball down, and I believe William Penn will be in a man-to-man defense. North Park will work the ball, and maybe go into a delay game if they have one until about 20 seconds. And if they have, I believe they have enough timeouts, they can call one there, and possibly set up a sequence where they would be looking for Thomas or a feed from Thomas to one of their big men down low. And like you mentioned earlier, possibly shooting at about the 8, 9, or 10 second mark, so they have time for a rebound.
Group brings the ball up for North Park.
Penn has changed up. Ron, they are in his zone defense.
Grassdorf from the baseline, over to Groot. To Thomas at the top of the key. Over to Grassdorf from about 17. Shot is up, no good. And Wilson with the rebound for William Penn. Over to Moore. Moore pushing the ball up the court. Now slows it back, pulls it out. And we got a foul there on Groot. 32 seconds left to go in the ball game. Moore will be at the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1. That was not an intentional foul. Groot was not trying to foul him. He was trying to get by him, and Kim ran right in front of him.
It was a good play by Moore. A very big miss by Grassdorf down on the other end. He has a lot of confidence in that shot to be taken in that situation.
Moore's free throws up, and good. William Penn on top by 2 now. 83-81 with 32 seconds left to go in the ball game. Second pressure free throw here by Penn's Kim Moore is up. And good. William Penn on top by 3 with 32 seconds left to go. Important aspect here now, William Penn cannot afford a foul. Clausen drives in, throws it out of bounds. They give it to North Park. They say Kim Moore did touch it. They're saying Moore touched it. Kim's protesting, but they said he did touch it. So North Park gets a reprieve.
I think he finally said Malone hit it, and Terry could not believe that he hit the ball.
Thomas from 18, no good, but rebounded there, and they travel.
That's a very, very big play. Penn now has control with 18 seconds to go with a 3-point lead. North Park is going to put in full court pressure.
North Park,
if we go to our play with the
down the court to base Carr, he goes in. Goaltending, it's good. Goaltending on Grassdorf, it counts. No bucket now. They say no bucket. No bucket. What's the call here? What's the call?
Let's wait for it.
We have a technical foul.
He certainly pinned it against the glass, didn't he, Ron?
I don't understand what happened. The shot was let go. It should have been goaltending. They call it technical instead. Reece to shoot the tee. This would tie the school's record if Reece would make it. He does. That's 49 for Gerald, and he ties William Penn season 1 single game scoring record. I do not understand why the bucket did not count.
I believe the official must have thought that the ball was not hit by the North Park player, and he just slapped the backboard?
Right. That's it, Clark. That's exactly right. What he felt was that the ball was never touched by the North Park player. He felt that what happened was that the North Park player hit the rim. But even so, the ball was up on the rim, and that would still be goaltending, even if it didn't touch the ball.
I was surprised also that Bates Card didn't come down and try to put a dent in the floor with a big dunk shot, but he did feel a lot of pressure from Grassdorf and probably did the right thing.
Well, regardless, William Penn on top by 4, 85-81 with the ball, and only 14 seconds left to go in the game.
Penn will come out and try to play pressure. I would imagine they would. Excuse me. We have the explanation on the technical foul. Did you catch that, Ron?
Yeah. The PA announcer from the referee says that the technical foul was called because the backboard was hit, causing vibration and causing the ball to come out. But that should be goaltending. That should not just be a technical foul.
I agree with you 100%.
Over to Malone. Malone drives in. We got traveling. Costly turnover there. All Terry had to do was catch the ball and come down with it.
Well, when you see that lane to the basket, when you're coming through on that curl play, you're looking to the basket and you're looking for 2. And that's what they're taught. But we cannot afford a foul here. We have to make them work to get the ball in.
12.
Work to get a shot.
10. Schultz. Shots up. No good. Rebound to Carr. 8. 5 seconds left, and there's a foul. William Penn has wrapped up the consolation game, ladies and gentlemen. 5 seconds left and a 4-point lead. Unless there's a miracle has occurred, William Penn wins this consolation game against North Park Vikings.
Woodrow, the man who hit the one-on-one free throw 53 seconds ago, is back up at the line. This one is not near as crucial, and let's hope Woodrow can put him in anyway.
First free throw by Wilson is up. No good. North Park, 5, 3, 1. The last shot is up. No good. And William Penn wins it by a score of 85-81.
That also gives William Penn 20 wins on the season.
They finished the season with a 20-7 record.
And a very, very proud team they should be. Coach Leon Richardson and his young men should be very proud of their accomplishments. North Park has nothing to be ashamed of. They came out and they played a good ball game.
North Park came back from a very long or a very big deficit. They were down by 12, 13, and 15 points in the second half. Came down and led at one time by a score 81-80. So they did play a fine ball game. Came back. For North Park, Mike Thomas ended up with the game for 38 points. 38 points for North Park's All-American Mike Thomas. Krasdorf ended up with 14. Clausen had 9, and Schultz ended up with 12. Gordon chipped in 4, and that rounded up the scoring for North Park. For William Penn, Gerald Reece with 49 points. That's unofficial, I do believe. I'm not sure if is that official, Clark?
I don't believe so. Those are just our stats, and hopefully they are correct.
If it's 49 points, that is ties the school's record for Gerald Reece. Moore chipped in with 14 points. Very quietly, Moore had a very fine second half, controlling the ball and the pressure from North Park. Hit some key buckets, hit some layups, and also had a couple of fine assists to Larry Engler. Engler ended up with 8 points, third leading scorer for the ball team tonight. Engler had 3 crucial baskets in the ball game when they were cutting off Reece, and he ends up with 8.